stereotype where everybody turns and looks, like who are you? And they're all like related, What?
Yeah. We always used to joke that my parents didn't have a TV, so they had to do something for entertainment. That's why they had such big families.
Yeah, right.
What's first, Jeff?
All right. No big hurry here.
Yep. The crowd is clamoring.
That's one way to look at it.
This meets my minimum standard.
What's first? What's first, Jeff? What if you're a solo performer?
That's a real come down, isn't it?
All right, here we go.
What is it?
Days of Wine Roses.
Cha-cha-cha.
You've got 1, 2,
Thank you. Thank you. That was great. Well, good morning, all you brave souls that drive carefully and plow through the snow. And welcome to you that are joining us online. I'm Reverend Sharon Ketchum, and we're here at Unity Spiritual Center of Lansing on this fine Michigan winter day. And I'm so grateful we are here and not south, because unfortunately south of us is having a much worse winter storm. So we are in the right place at the right time. Our coffee bar is open, the snack bar is open, so help yourself. I understand the coffee is nice and hot, and I hope you're finding it warm and comfy in here. Our prayer box is also open if you have anything on your mind, on your heart, concerns or celebrations invite you to put a prayer request in the prayer box so our prayer team can support you in prayer for the next 30 days, and then we send it to Silent Unity in Missouri for an additional 30 days of prayer. Also, if we are having a potluck next week, chili potluck. That's how we tell the Michigan winter to suck it up, because we're going to get all spicy in here. Nan has a sign-up sheet there if you didn't get a chance to sign up last week.
Come see me. I think most of you signed up. If you haven't, it's right here.
Okay. And those of you online, if you happen to be in the area, come on in and join us for some great chili. It's always a fun experience. Okay, let's affirm our new mission statement together. We are a spiritual community embracing positive transformation through prayer, education, and living the principles of unity and love. And this, along with this, we had this new vision of seeing a world that was joyful, supportive, centered in love, and providing opportunity for spiritual transformation. In Unity, our kind of parent organization, as I say, one God, one heart, but many paths, or I like to say one light and many lamps. So let's affirm together: the enlightenment of the Buddha shines within us, the compassion of the Christ moves through us, the power of Jehovah strengthens and guards us, the presence of Allah surrounds and guides us. Wherever we are, the Tao is, and all is God. And Greg's going to bring us into a singing prayer.
Before the craziness begins, I breathe deep and go within. Here I am, an empty cup. I pray, God, please fill me up. Help me see your grand design. Lead me to a quiet mind. Right now I have all I need. All that's left to do is breathe.
And take that breath. Breathe.
Before the craziness begins, I breathe deep and go within. Here I am, an empty cup. I pray, God, please fill me up. Help me see your grand design. Lead me to a quiet mind. One more time, I breathe you in before the craziness begins.
Now that we've all had that breath, we hold in our hearts, we continue to hold in our hearts the Buddhists that are walking for peace. They're up in South Carolina now and heading up. There's a group driving down to see them a little over a week, to walk with them for a while on the side of the road. But this morning, certainly, the Minneapolis region is something we take into our hearts. It's hard to think of American citizens being killed by other American citizens under an agency of the government. And yesterday's killing of Alex Preddy, a nurse that worked with the veterans who became an object of what happened because of helping a woman that had been pushed to the ground. Something's happening. There's a slew of ministers that have arrived in Minnesota, besides our unity ministers there. Myra McFadden, who I served on the board with, she's from Kansas City, and she is up there also representing the Native community in the region because she is part Indigenous. I don't know what to say except, it's up to us to hold the peace and to speak where we can speak. And it's interesting that we're coming up, and also to hold the ICE agents in our prayers. We don't want to get caught in that trap of creating otherness in this whole thing. Something is wrong, something is broken that needs to be fixed right now. A little more caring, a little more kindness, a little more listening. I was really impressed that the economic meeting in Davos was called a dialogue. That, oh my goodness, world leaders coming together to dialogue, to speak with one another, which also I hope means listen to one another when they're having that dialogue. We know something like that needs to happen here. And also this week is the beginning of a season for nonviolence. You're going to hear about that, a little bit more of that later. But 64 days of really focusing on nonviolence. As Martin Luther King said, hatred doesn't take out hate, only love does that. Light is the only thing that takes out darkness. So let's just take a deep breath again and just close our eyes and just feel what it's like to feel peace. To feel a peace that is so deep, so radiating, that it eradicates anything that is unlike peace. That where there is antagonism and fear and that vibration of violence, that this calms down and begins to gel into a vibration of connectedness in place of otherness. And for those who have lost their life in the violence, Nicole, Alex, those that have been hurt, those that have been wounded, let us hold them in our heart with that compassion and love, that universal language that connects us all. And for that city of Minneapolis, for the surrounding areas, let our love be a blanket of peace falling down upon them right now, that there is a shift in consciousness, that there is a shift in action, that there is a lightness where there appears to be dark, or appears to be lack. So for this truth, for the light that we agree to allow to shine for them, on them, through them, and as them, we are truly grateful. And so it is. Amen. Okay, youth this morning. Okay. Do you have any kids? They're all over there, so we won't sing them out then. But we'll have a little discussion at the table. Okay, if the Earth could give you a performance review this year, where do you think it might say you're doing well, and where might it suggest room for growth? Room for growth. Where's your growing edge? Where's your growing edge?
Group growth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
Oh.
I've got a monocultured lawn. That's room for
Do
growth.
you? Oh, yeah.
It's like you see the weeds coming in and you want to get rid of them, but they're actually a good thing to have.
They are, yeah.
So I'd probably, room for growth would be not to have just grass. And then as far as what we're doing well, I don't know.
Well, I'm happy that we have probably 3 times as much recycling as we do garbage.
Oh, we are doing that well at home too. So thank you for bringing that one up.
Yeah. And still I use plastic bags.
Yeah.
And I gotta break that habit.
Right.
It's just
we recycle 3 times as much as we throw away. The city makes it easy, which is nice. That we're lucky. We have that single stream recycling where you can just throw it all in together.
Yeah.
It makes it so much easier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kudos to Lansing.
I also think maybe doing well on passing on things, like stop hoarding, those things you keep just in case, and letting them go, and reusing things that, or at least passing them on. If I'm not using it anymore, give it that extended life as opposed to directly in the garbage. It's hard to do. I mean,
Yeah.
some things, yeah, there's some value in it. Like, how do you weigh against, does this go in the garbage? Or I heard about aspirational clutter last night. And aspirational clutter, those things you say for the day you're going to do this project.
Yeah.
Or you buy the piano because you're going to learn to play it, and it just sits there and you haven't done it yet. Aspirational clutter. Making those decisions on.
It is hard. I mean, it's really, you see things and you have an emotional tug, and
Yeah.
even if it's not something you've interacted with in years,
But
you know,
it's
necessarily.
mine. It's mine.
Should
Okay,
we
yeah.
sing a song? It's
Sounds good.
It's new to us as a congregation.
Yeah.
But when Elise sang it a couple weeks ago, I
I
believe.
think people might start remembering this because it's kind of catchy.
We have come together as a family. We have come together as love. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise a roof with sounds of praise. Spirit's in this place. We sing in celebration. We sing words of prayer. We affirm our life as sacred. We declare that peace is here. Yeah, Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise a roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise a roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. There we go.
Good morning. I'm Barb Starling, your platform assistant for today. Our daily word is zeal, inspired by the 100th Psalm. Worship God with gladness. Come into its presence with singing. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote in his 94th year, I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm and bring forth with a might faith to do the things that ought to be done by me. His example shows us that regardless of our age or station in life, zeal is a divine gift, a part of us, always ours to call upon. Through it, we feel enthusiastic and energetic about life. We express joy and excitement as we live, love, and share of ourselves through service. We are purposeful, passionate, and positive. We live authentically and make bold impressions on the world. We share our talents and gifts with a spirit of generosity and service. We begin each day with eagerness and end it with gratitude, happy to share our zeal. Let us affirm together, I bring my zeal and passion to life. Friday, January 30th, marks the beginning of 64 days of nonviolence inspired by the work of Mohandas Gandhi and Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King. Their approach to change through nonviolent action brought a huge shift as to how to facilitate change in our world. In honor of nonviolence, I invite you to affirm a personal commitment to 64 days of nonviolence in your life. So let us affirm together. I will work to grow my understanding of nonviolence. I will work to grow my compassion for all humans and other life forms. I will work to help create a more just, peaceful, and loving world. And now, it's my pleasure to bring up Winale Zeeb for some special music.
It says, I'm on. Both song selections today. I'm so grateful to be here. Good to see you all. I want to thank Reverend Sharon. She turned me on to this artist, Denise Rosier, and I just love her art. Both songs are affirmations of the I am presence within all of us. I am goodness, grace beyond measure. I am peace, here and now. I am wholeness, thriving perfection. I am love. I am love. I am light, free and abundant. I am joy, awakened and wild. I am spirit, open and boundless. I am love. I am love. We are goodness, grace beyond measure. We are peace, here and now. We are wholeness, thriving perfection. We are love. We are love. We are life, free and abundant. We are joy, awakened and wild. We are spirit, open and boundless. We are love. Thank you. Unity Band.
I think I'm okay. Oh, wonderful. What a, those affirmations just, they say when you sing a prayer, it's like praying twice. And those are just wonderful affirmations for us to hold. Thank you. Thank you. So we're in the middle of a series, Wisdom for the Ages. We looked at Christian mysticism, Eastern mystics. Today we're going to look at Indigenous Wisdom, and next week, Spirituality for Day. And then the week after, we have a special guest coming in, Fred Stella, who's doing what he calls Hindu unity, or Hindu, anyway. If you look at it, you get it. It's Hindu and unity put together. So it's kind of an interesting series. So in the first couple of weeks, we talked about that Christianity really, the heart of Christianity was this mystical part, this part that says, God is right here with me, that there is no intercessories required. I don't need to have a church or a priest. I can have an immediate access to God. And basically, it's back to Jesus' original teachings. Really simple. Love God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your might, and love your neighbor as yourself. Not complicated. Not a bunch of rules and stuff to follow. Just a very simple, basic thing. Love God and love your neighbor. And then last week, we looked at the Eastern mystics, and the common theme in Eastern different faith communities, certainly the idea of oneness, that we all are connected, of effortless effort. The unity, we kind of call it going with the flow, but that the universe kind of conspires to support us in the direction that we're going, and to live consciously, or sometimes we hear mindfulness when we're talking about Eastern faith community. So today and also I showed you the wheel, the hub of the wheel. I think it's such a great example that if you look at the wheel, at the outside the spokes are very far apart, and that's like all of our different faith communities. But the closer you get to any faith, any spiritual practice, the closer you get to the heart, to the center, to the core of it, all of a sudden everything becomes closer and closer until you realize it is all the same. Maybe different words, maybe different things that look differently, but ultimately the core essence is the same. This one present, this interconnectedness. So today we're going to go into Indigenous and Native wisdom. I love this little meme here. It says, consider the advice of your elders, not because they're always right, but because of the wisdom they gleaned from being wrong. And isn't that true? We have a very wise group here. We've gleaned a lot of wisdom from mistakes over the years. What I love about Indigenous wisdom, and this is true whether it's the Native people of our country or all over the world, the Native people of the lands had a different way of achieving their wisdom and their spirituality. It wasn't about a book. It wasn't about something outside of themselves. It was about the very world in which they lived. They understood spirituality was in the land and the water and the air and the animals. And then they carried the stories on generation after generation. It's just such an unabashedly honest way to have your faith, to just be really present in everything that is around you. So Indigenous wisdom is about remembering that life is alive. It doesn't say stagnant. This is just a living force, that we all belong, and that spirit is not elsewhere, but it's everywhere. In unity, we call this eminence. There's everywhere presence of God right up close and personal with us. But the natives knew it before we even had a word for it. They lived it. It wasn't even an idea they picked up. It was more like how we breathe and not think about it. They just knew God was every place, all the time, was with them. Just such a clean and simple relationship with that which is so much more than our humanness. So there's also some core themes in the different Indigenous cultures of their faith. Certainly interconnectedness. This whole idea of that life is this whole web, and when you press on one part, it impacts another part. Reciprocity, the Eastern religion, it was called karma. In unity, we call it cause and effect. But that there's a stewardship and mutual care that is just the way that you are in life. Mutual care, reciprocity, helping each other. And then respect. walking our journey of life with respect for all things, all beings, that there is no level of worthiness, that it's just a universal level of respect. The important thing that sets it apart, I think, with indigenous cultures is they really live what they believe. This is their lifestyle. This isn't their Sunday separate and apart idea. This is their lifestyle as they go on. And knowing that wisdom was never meant to stay in the realm of ideas, that wisdom is meant to be lived. With unity, it's our fifth principle, that we take action based on our beliefs. We take what we know and we put it into action, put it into our life force. And this was just tantamount to really all of the indigenous faiths. So one of the themes, the first theme is interconnectedness, this idea of all my relations. It's a foundational idea. Everything is my relation. Can you imagine going on to genealogy, on the DNA things, and then when they give you your family chart, all your relations, that it also included animals and earth and trees and air, that all of these are our relations. There is nothing that we are not related to. I mean, whoa, that just, tribalism just gets really big. I mean, this is our tribe. This is our earth tribe, if you will. So just take a moment and just, if you can imagine that you really understood and lived, that you were related to everything, every breathing thing, every inanimate thing on this planet, what would that feel like? You're related to the chair that you're sitting in. You're related to the coffee that you're drinking. You're related to the beans that created it, to the farmers that harvested it. They are all part of your relationship. Wow. Ooh, what does that feel like? A little panic for holiday dinners. Who's going to come? So moving into a mindset where we're not superior to nature, we're not separate from nature. All of nature, everything is our kin, is our relationship. So this idea of universal kinship, I love this piece of art where it's all melded up together, it's all related. I mean, it's such a hard thing for us to conceive of being related to everything in our world, related to every snowflake that is falling out there. Every one of that it's another birth, it's another relationship, it's another part of life itself. The Sioux tribes were very prominent with this belief in their lifestyles, and they called it all my relations. This was like a phrase for them, all my relations. It was their way of being. And like I said, I've thought about this again and again. What difference would it make in my life if I really had a belief that I could live into understanding that everything is related to me? Everything, everyone. Everything that's growing, everything that is not growing, everything on this planet. Now, with memes and everything, we get very clever with words. Some people call it bumper sticker religion. Thoughts held in mind produced after their kind. It works if you work it. We have these clever little things which keep it in our intellect. But we're talking bringing this down to the cellular level where we're actually living it, being it. Indigenous wisdom is really, if it matters, you practice it. If you have a belief that really matters, then you live it. You don't hold it up into this little vault in your brain, that little golden piece of wisdom. You want to protect it so it doesn't get lost. No, you put it right into practice. So really to think about, would you make a different choice at any point in your life if you were really living this belief that we are all connected, that it's all kin, all my relationships? What would our values change? What would our lifestyle choices be like in doing that? Unity certainly has some echoes of these different, of the faith ideas. When we join Unity, we've come across it, for those of us that found it in life, we tripped across it, and we came because we wanted to there was something missing in our life, or just maybe it wasn't missing, but we felt there was something more in our life. We wanted to make our life better. But then as we mature spiritually, we're going to make our life better so we can help other people make their life better. It's nothing that we want to hold that there's a lack about this idea that we're going to hold it in so we don't lose it. But no, it's to lift everybody up. All boats rise when the tide rises, right? And to be that that much of a cheerleader for everybody else on the planet can feel kind of anti-cultural because we're in such a competitive environment. So many things are set up that it's relative to something else, that you're better or you're less than. And to take really into that mindset of total equality, total just equalness in all things is really a step for us to take that is so countercultural. Chief Seattle said that humankind has not woven the web of life. We are but one thread in it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. And boy, that takes on added meaning these days, because now the web is also the internet out there, right? Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. It comes right out back to us, whatever we send out. But Charles and Myrtle Fillmore really had certainly some insights into this idea of all kinship. Charles said that intelligence and life are present in all creation, and the spark of divinity is not limited to humankind. Wow. The spark of divinity is not limited to humankind. Because if it was, then you would have this is God and this isn't, right? And he says, speak truth to everything. Everything, not just everyone, everything. And Myrtle, she was accused of being a nature worshiper, which back in the 1800s, that was really akin to something not socially acceptable. But Myrtle loved being out in nature. She said that's where she felt closest to God. That's where she felt the wonder and the questions, even the time that she was a kid out in Ohio. She just felt it, just felt that all kinship with all things. Ancient wisdom, indigenous wisdom, tells us the earth was not given to us by our parents, but it was loaned to us by our children. What a responsibility that is. We borrow this land from our children. Our discussion question this morning, how would the earth rate you on how you're treating it these days? What have you done well? Where could you have a little improvement on that? And if we think about that, this whole planet, all the resources we use are just on loan to us from our children and our children's children's life that hasn't even been born that. How does that impact the way we are? When I borrow something, I really hold it as a treasure, and I want to make sure I return it in as good a condition as I got it. And if I break it or do something to damage it, I'll go to all ends to try to fix it and repair it. And if we take that on a worldview, what a difference that makes about our world. What a difference that would make. And how Greg and I were talking about recycling and the garbage, and we're both really happy that we have more recycling to go out than we have garbage, like triple the amount of recycling. But still, I find so many things that, I want to get out of the addiction to plastic bags. They are just addictions because they're easy and simple in ways we've always done it. Because that plastic bag is going to be around for my grandchildren and my children's and grandchildren's grandchildren. It'll be around for just so many years. And hopefully it's in the ground, but it goes into the ocean. It's polluting our ocean so much with the plastic garbage that arrives in there. So another theme with Indigenous people is the idea of enoughness. Enoughness. Did you ever hear that word? Enoughness. Yeah, try saying it. It's kind of enoughness. It's kind of gives you a little funny thing in your mouth. Enoughness. Now, what is enoughness? What is enoughness? It's not about living without, going without. It's not saying, I'm a saint because I'm living in scarcity here. It also doesn't excuse greed or overabundance, overgathering, hoarding of things, if you will. Having enough is knowing where that balance is in life. What do I need to live well and comfortably without being overburdened by the very things that I own? Abundance in our life isn't defined by accumulation. But boy, we were geared that way. I mean, I think as a kid, you kind of measured how you're doing in life by, I own a couch now. Oh, I have my own apartment. Oh, I bought a house or I bought a car. And there's a certain measure that we're going along. And they never told us about the other side of life. Most of us have not been skilled enough yet to find out how do you get rid of all the stuff that you've accumulated? How do you lighten up a little bit so that your kids don't curse you after you die and they have to take care of all that? But to actually, in that enoughness, to ask a question of ourselves, what does it take to live a good life? What does it take? How much do I need? I know I have a comfort always having an extra jar of ketchup and of mayonnaise in the. Some things I know to have enough is not just to have it in the fridge. I need to have the one backup and toilet paper. You know, but how much do you need? Do I need caseloads? No, you know, I need one or two. So what is it that's enough for us? I think abundance really is more of a verb than this measurement of wealth or stuff or things that we have. Our culture certainly tells us that, you know we succeeded by what we've got. We're measured by those kind of outer things. But the Indigenous people says you're abundant by how generously life flows through you. How generously life flows through you. The abundance, the Latin word, actually means flow. The root word in Latin means flow and abundance. You're abundant by how life flows through you. Isn't that such a beautiful feeling? What abundance I have. I get to do this. I get to reach out a hand. I get to give somebody a ride. I get to make a phone call. I get to donate. The Fledge was doing warming centers during the day, and they're looking for coffee and stuff. Our abundance comes from the ability to allow what we have to flow through. And the whole world is made up of this flow. If we think about our breath, we think about our bloodstream. The flow is so important in our blood, in our breath, that if it doesn't happen, we enter into a realm of dis-ease, a lot of dis-ease, because flow is the way energy goes. Flow is the way energy goes. So enoughness, we're going to find that level within ourselves where we have that ease of flow, that as things come to us, they come through us. And, as soon as water leaves down the stream, more water comes in right behind it. So it is with our life and our abundance, our flow. As we allow that to move through, it makes room for that which is coming next. In Unity's teachings, we say that God is unlimited. God is infinite. There is no lack. And that there's no virtue in poverty. We're not known to take any vows of poverty. And there's no guilt in abundance. No guilt in abundance. And depending on how you've been raised, there are those of us that do feel guilty because we're comfortable. Or feel guilty because we're happy and somebody else isn't. But that's a whole nother talk about guilt. We can get in there. The whole idea that abundance isn't meant to stop with us. It's meant to be the experience of living, the flow of life. We're stewards of what flows through us, just like we're stewards of this planet for those generations after us. And it's not a sum-zero game. And I think that's where we really need to change our thinking. I see this little thing here. There's one ice cream cone, which means one person has, one person doesn't. 1 plus minus 1 is 0. That's sum-zero. We understand that the universe is infinite. It's not a sum-zero game. It's a matter of a flow that we can all have, that we can all share, that we can all experience it. My good doesn't require you to be in lack. Nobody can ever take your job, your romantic partner, your good. If it goes someplace else, it wasn't yours. And there is something that is yours. If we get out of that idea of lack, that somebody took my good. This is not a competitive world. This is a cooperative world. The ultimate truth of the world is that it's cooperative, that we work together. I love the idea of seventh generation, that every decision's weighed by the impact of 7 generations. Our grandchildren's grandchildren. If you can imagine that. Our grandchildren's grandchildren. And think if businesses and governments and organizations ran that every decision they made had this one way that was put against it. How will this impact the 7th generation? There's a lot of discussion right now about the new AI center going in here in Lansing. And I don't know the details to know enough. Would that cause harm to our environment? Would it be an advantage to our environment? I don't know. But I love that we're having the conversation about it. For those that do know, what kind of impact will this have 7 generations down the road? Will there be people, even a couple generations from now, that says, what in heaven's name were they thinking? Either to say yes or to say no. Why didn't we say yes when we had that opportunity? Why didn't we say no when we had that opportunity? To measure with those different kind of values. The Cree have this teaching that says, when all the trees have been cut down, when all the animals have been hunted, when all the waters are polluted, when all the air is unsafe to breathe, only then we discover that you can't eat money. And you probably could eat a dollar bill. Probably a $1 bill wouldn't taste any different than a $100 bill. But we start understanding that with the indigenous culture, that their faith, their religion, their spirituality is so imbued with their day-to-day living that it really is centered on the earth, the environment, all things. It's all kinship. It is such a different step from where our culture is today, where we have our separate tribes by faith communities, by where we live in the city, by what schools we went to, as opposed to this allness in the oneness. And then finally, there's the moral and ethical guidance, and I'm just going to give you a little condensing on this. They call them the grandfather teachings. And 7 pretty simple ideas: love, interconnectedness, that the whole world runs on love, that we're all interconnected. That web, all it is love. It's that love connection. Respect, honoring others in the world we share. Honoring others, really honoring. And others we know means also the animals and the plants and the trees and the bulbs that are in the ground right now and the water and the air, honoring all of it. Bravery, standing up for what's right, both ethically and spiritually, letting us be a voice. Last week I talked about Gandhi's granddaughter, who speaks up for those that don't have a voice, that don't have the power to speak up, to have a voice. And we are being called for that bravery. Truth, be faithful to our values and teachings. Don't sell them short. Live them, breathe life into them. Honesty, to be in integrity in our word, our action, our commitments, in integrity with our overall values. Humility, wow. Knowing that we're sacred, and that doesn't make us above or below anything else on this planet, anyone else on this planet. This humbleness of understanding our oneness and our sacredness at the same time. And finally, a wisdom that is cultivated through stillness, through silence, through patience. Just like Jesus said, love God, love your neighbor. That's all that this is about, to have love, respect, bravery. We're going to take a little time now to go into that silence, to cultivate some of our own wisdom. Go ahead. Oh, yes. Well, okay, so do we have the patience? That's okay, come on up, because we're going to go right into the meditation of this. Wisdom really asks us, do we have the patience to wait until the muck clears? If you take muddy water and let it sit there, eventually it gets clear. But our mind's that way too. There's a lot of muck yesterday from everything that happened. For a lot of us, just emotions stirring things up. Do we have the patience to sit there until it settles so we can see clearly, quieting the monkey mind, resting away from fear, away from unfinished business? So we're going to go into that time to touch that wisdom that is within us. Okay, Greg.
I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. It is great. It is good. It is perfect. It is perfect. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. It is great. It is good. It is holy. Oh, your presence. Oh, your presence. And I know on my body you reside. And I know I am breathing in your life. And I know I am seeing through your eyes. And I know that your heart is beating mine. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your love. Oh, your love. I can feel it. I can feel it. Oh, your love. Oh, your love. Oh, your love. Oh, your love.
And let's just take that all in, feeling the love, the presence, the breath that is God itself. As we turn to that inner space, that vault of wisdom that unlocks for us in the silence, that infinite knowing that is always accessible to us. And we just stop and listen. There is perhaps a memory quickening within us of all my relations. That memory from the moment of the Big Bang, when that creative force was thrown into manifestation. That knowing, that wisdom, that we are all one, that everything is our relation. Everything, every being. And so we listen. Listen to the wisdom that is being shared with us, that resides within us. It is the multitude expressions of the divine, always accessible. Whatever question might be on our hearts today, how do we bring more peace to this world? How do we find forgiveness? How do we generate more love? The direction, the guidance is even now being revealed to us as we take a moment in the silence. You listen to the whispers, the voice within you saying, I belong. I belong. All are kin. I belong and all are kin. And I walk this life this sacred relationship. As we allow the muck to settle, our answers will become clearer. Our light will shine more brightly. Our hearts will vibrate with a greater radius than we have ever known. And so it is. Amen.
Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God. Yes, I am here to love. Yes, I am here to serve. Yes, I am here to be the love of God, my God. And I know forevermore that I am loved. Yes, I know forevermore that I am loved. Yes, I am here to learn. Yes, I am here to live. Yes, I am here to be the love of God. Yes, I am here to learn. Yes, I am here to live. Yes, I am here to be the love of God, my God, of God, my God, of God, my God.
Thank you, Greg. I don't know how you did last week. The spiritual practice was to try to practice mindfulness for even a minute or two. So I used my toothbrush because it's time for 2 minutes, and I thought this should be easy. I could just focus on every tooth. I don't know if you were more successful than I have, but every time I tried it, there were little monkey things that would just come in and random things that would just pop through in the middle of, I'm doing my teeth, go away, go away. So it's a really good exercise. This week, the practice, just think about, even a couple times this week when you're doing it, making a decision, ask yourself how it will affect your grandchildren's grandchildren. Just, to get that feel of the impact. We are so powerful. We're part of that web of life. Anyway, I'm so glad Winale is part of my web of life, part of our web of life. So you got some wonderful music for us, right? Come on up.
Hello. I am made of the light that hung the stars in the night, a perfect thought since time began. I have I am one with the love that's holding all of us. Its power in my hand. I am called by the voice that speaks of truth and joy, forever blessed where I stand. I am made of the light that hung the stars in the night, a perfect thought since time began. I am one with the love that's holding all of us. Its power in my hand. I am called by the voice that speaks of truth and joy, forever blessed where I stand. Thank you. Thank you, Unity Band.
Thank you, Winale. Now is the time we create a sacred circle of generosity by acknowledging and sharing of the blessings we have received. Giving is a matter of the heart, not of wealth. You can place your love offering in the glass jar on the table, or if you're joining us on YouTube or using a credit card, use the QR code on the screen to give your support through PayPal. Whether or not you are sharing a financial gifts this week, we invite you to affirm a sacred exchange by placing a hand over your heart or using an affirmation token from the bowl on your table. We bless the gifts of our love and our treasure by affirming together, divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I praise, give thanks, and am glad. Our circle of generosity includes gratitude to every one of you who support Unity with their loving gifts. Our circle of generosity grows even larger as we share those gifts with others. As a tithing ministry, a portion of our tithes is shared with local charitable organizations that inspire and bless us. This is your opportunity to nominate a local charitable organization that has inspired you with their work. Nomination forms are on the community table in the hallway as well as online. I got ahead of myself. I thought today was the last day for voting, so I was like, where's that form? Let us bless the work of these organizations and affirm our own blessings by singing, I Am So Blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Let us take a moment to deeply immerse ourselves in gratitude by collectively blessing the gifts just received.
Let us affirm together, given in love, received in love, we dedicate these gifts to do the will and the work of the Holy Spirit, and so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Derek. A reminder that today is the last day to nominate your favorite local charitable organization to be a 2026 recipient of our tithes. On February 15th, Barb, we will vote on our choices. This Monday is the first class of Prosperity Plus. The class will be meeting in the Upper Lodge from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Note that you can park up on the top of the hill near the lodge doors. And a reminder, if you are considering taking this consciousness-changing course, after the second class, the course is closed to new students. As Reverend Sharon mentioned at the beginning of the service, next Sunday, February 1st, our hospitality team is hosting a chili potluck. If you missed the sign-up sheet that's been passed around, raise your hand and we will get it over to you.
We have 8 chilies coming.
Woohoo! Next Sunday is the first class of our new monthly series called Discovery Sunday. Pam Nelson will be facilitating the class on the first unity principle. The class will be offered in the Upper Lodge. Please note that the class will begin at a new time, 9 a.m., and everyone is welcome. There is no charge, but love offerings are appreciated. Wednesday, Super Suppers is gathering at Leo's Lodge on Jolly Road at 6 p.m. This is no-host dinner, and it's open to everyone. It's helpful to contact Lisa Haston or the church office if you're planning on attending to help us reserve enough seats. Drop-ins are also helpful, invited, and welcomed. This Saturday, January 31st, Terry Bedford is offering a special energy session focusing on the pelvic floor and the sacral chakra. The session begins at 11 a.m. in the Upper Lodge, and the cost is $25. If you plan on joining us for this workshop, please sign up at the community table. However, drop-ins will also be welcome. The new February Unity Pulse is on your table. It has information about all the classes and activities at Unity, and a reminder about membership renewal. Feel free to take a copy of the Pulse with you for easy reference. And following the service, our prayer practitioners are available to offer you heart energy prayers, which is similar to a brief Reiki treatment, and affirmative spoken prayers. You will find the prayer practitioners here by the lectern. And let's welcome back the children as we stand, as we are able, and gather to sing the peace song. We'll end our service by standing as we are able to create our circle of consciousness as we sing the peace song, followed by affirming the prayer of protection.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God is within us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
I complimented Steve.